Biohazard incidents can happen anywhere: schools, offices, healthcare facilities, public spaces, transportation hubs, commercial buildings. But when cleaning professionals encounter blood, bodily fluids, infectious materials, or other potentially hazardous contaminants, the stakes become much higher than routine cleaning. For ISSA members and the global cleaning and facility services industry, understanding how to properly respond to biohazard situations is not just about appearance, it's about safety, risk reduction, worker protection, compliance, and public health. And to learn more about this, I'm pleased to welcome my friend and colleague, Dr. Gavin McGregor Skinner, Senior Director at ISSA, to provide some needed guidance today. Gavin, welcome to the program.
Hi, Jeff. It's been a busy period, that's for sure.
That was kind of what I was wondering about because there's all kinds of news stories out there about these biohazard issues. It's on my TV, it's in my news feed, it's everywhere. Is it worse now than before? Are you seeing more issues now?
I'm very alarmed, Jeff, of what happened over the last week or so with the Hantavirus outbreak on the cruise ship. And then the passengers were taken off the cruise ship into a bus. Then they were put into a plane. Then some of them went to hospital facilities. Others went to their own homes. And there's one big thing that's missing out of all the stories that we've been reading, Jeff, is who's doing the cleaning? Are they trained to clean up infectious disease materials, biohazards? Do they have the correct PPE to protect their safety? There's been no mention of how we clean up biohazard materials, your urine, vomit, diarrhea, contaminated surfaces, indoor air. We've had no mention of who cleaned the ship, who cleans the buses, who cleans the plane, who cleans the hospital rooms, and who cleans the homes while the passengers are waiting there in their own homes in quarantine.
Good questions, Gavin. Do cleaning professionals, those we're speaking to today, really know and understand the dangers of what they're facing?
Well, if no one's going to talk about cleaning in an infectious disease outbreak like hantavirus on a cruise ship that got so much media attention, then it's up to ISSA and our members to create awareness. And I think right now, Jeff, we have an enormous business opportunity across the value chain of the clean industry if they can do this one thing. And so I lead the Making Safer Choices program at ISSA. I'm an expert in exposure science. That's about how people get infected, get sick from the environment they're in, indoor spaces. We focus on the knowing doing gap. And so it's so important now that everyone across the value chain, manufacturers, distributors, facility managers, anyone who sells products, anyone who buys products, anyone who uses equipment, tools, and chemical products to clean, they have to know, Jeff. They have to know how to clean up vomit, diarrhea, urine, blood. They have to know how they're making the indoor spaces safe and how to prevent infections.
You and I have talked separately about how we see blips of activity when things come up. A cruise ship has an issue. All of a sudden, there's talk about more cleaning, more disinfecting. That's a knee-jerk reaction to me. What do you say to that, Gavin? Shouldn't we have the same level all the time, or a response team only when there's some issue in the news?
The summer period here in the United States, June, July, even August, is going to be some of the most exciting times ever. We're going to have the FIFA World Cup, 104 games over a 6-week period, 48 teams, probably 10 million people, mass gatherings everywhere. Then right in the middle of the World Cup, we have July 4th, the 250th anniversary of the United States, which is really worth celebrating. That's going to lead to cleaning industry workers, people across the value chain for the clean industry will not be taking vacation this summer. It's going to be too busy. And so therefore you've got to understand there are hazards. Anything that is wet that comes out of a person's body has the potential to cause harm: vomit, diarrhea, urine, mucus, pus, saliva, blood. But you can clean it. Professionals can clean it properly and safely. So it's no longer a hazard from any surface. That's hard surfaces, soft surfaces, porous, non-porous, carpet, tile, wood, you name it, Jeff. But we have to tell the world how we're doing it. And we have to explain that as professionals within the industry, we can do this to create safe environments because the industry, the cleaning industry is going to be so busy in the next few weeks over that summer period with the FIFA World Cup and the 250th anniversary and July 4th happening all at the same time.
Busy summer season, concerns, I can see that, Gavin. What are you personally worried about when it comes to the skills and what the cleaners now know about their jobs?
Right now, we're not hearing a lot about cleaning in terms of infection prevention and control. We are seeing we're seeing people leave, well, they're still leaving a lot to chance. They're crossing their fingers and they're hoping for the best. And the professional cleaning industry does not do that. We manage air, water, and surfaces in the built environment. We clean and maintain them and disinfect them to ensure that they are safe for every user that goes into that indoor space. And we are going to see, Jeff, for again, over this summer period, FIFA World Cup, the 250th anniversary, July 4th, people in buses, trains, planes, cars, hotels, restaurants, convention centers, stadiums, lots of crowding, lots of high risk. That word biohazard is a combination of two words, biological and hazard, and cleaning professionals need to consider all the wet things that come out of a person's body. What's in it? We don't know. We don't make things up. We don't assume. And just because you don't know, you don't think, oh, there's no bacteria, there's no viruses, there's no parasites, there's no toxins, there's not even chemicals that can pose a threat. Don't assume that. They could be there and they could pose a threat to your health and hurt you. So therefore, are you wearing the correct personal protective equipment to protect your eyes, nose, and mouth? And are you using the correct cleaning equipment, tools, and cleaning products to create and clean safely?
Gavin, thank you for this conversation. What would you like the industry to do now that we've shared this with them?
It's absolutely critical, Jeff, that the cleaning industry comes together under a community of practice. That's what we do under the Making Safer Choices program. They need to not just say they know there are hazards, they know there are risks, they know how to use safe cleaning methods. They actually have to tell people how they're going to do it, and then they actually have to do it. And they have to do it consistently every time. The way that I've been working with the federal government, state government, local governments, and all the facilities involved in the FIFA World Cup and the July 4th 250th anniversary celebrations, we've been doing drills and exercises now for over a year. It's still not too late for the cleaning industry right now to say, right, across the value chain, manufacturers, distributors, anyone who sells cleaning equipment and products, cleaning companies and their workers, facility managers, just anyone who cleans, can you safely clean up vomit, diarrhea, urine, blood? And if you say yes, then work with ISSA so we can tell that story. We can show that we know what to do before the emergency becomes and quickly turns into a disaster, and we know how to do this safely with the right tools and equipment, and we know how to ensure that the general public can enjoy those mass gatherings, because they're really going to happen, and the cleaning industry will not be taking a vacation this summer. We will be working, and people have to know what we do.